What's good, everyone? This is Marcus, the Fingaz music producer, composer, uh, all the above, back with another episode. I got to make sure that we are live on YouTube. In this case, I am working on a track. I just started working on it for nothing specific, but featuring Albion 1. I think the plan was to only use Albion 1. I don't know if I can stick to that, but Epic Cinematic, this is how I go about creating it, and this is what we got so far. I have the strings. I was really focusing on these long patches, or the XL the XL upgrade that they just did. Before we get into that, this is the episode of the podcast. This is episode 86, I think. I think I need to go in and get some of my episodes loaded up. But this is episode 86 of the Syncrets To Success podcast. And this podcast is sponsored by the team over at ASTS. So check all the links in the description. Check out where you can get some sounds from ASTS. They just released a new plugin. Maybe I'll do a whole nother episode on that. And I focus on sync licensing and movie trailer music and epic cinematic music and composing and things like that. So check out all the links in the description. This episode was supposed to be on how if you can make six figures as a music creator in a sync space. But I'm going to do that probably in the next episode because I'm in the creative mode. I just turned 40. Yesterday was my birthday. My wife, they threw a surprise party for me this past weekend. And then my wife surprised me yesterday, took me out to a really nice and expensive restaurant. We had a great time yesterday on my birthday. And shout out to the family that came out and supported. Another chapter begins, and I have some exciting goals and things musically and life-wise for this next chapter as I begin chapter 40. So let's get into this track. I'm trying to find this video on YouTube, so in case you are dropping comments, so that I can see them. Let's see, live. Here we go. Let's mute the audio. There we go. So if you're watching live, you have any comments, drop them in the chat. All right, so let's go to, here's what we have so far. Yeah, so that is insane. So I'm going to build on this. One thing I want to add is some percussion. So as I mentioned, the focus was to only use Albion 1. I think I might bring in a piano, which is not included Albion 1. So we'll see if that ends up happening. But percussion, this is just using the Darwin percussion ensemble that's built into Albion 1. And if you want to see Albion 1, it looks like this. They have percussion, they have some loops, some of course, the orchestra itself with the XL patches that I was using in this case. And then we also have some synth type stuff, some drones and pads, which I might bring in here. Then you have some legacy patches. There is a piano in there, actually. I don't remember there being a piano in there. So, all right. Maybe we'll do, I want to do percussion, but I want to do piano. I don't remember a piano being in this plugin. I just want a regular piano though. This is like shorts. Yeah, this isn't really a piano. And there's not a lot of sounds there either. Let's see, is there another piano that I'm missing? Albion Legacy. We'll go to orchestra, brass, woodwinds. Let's see, individual. I'm not seeing piano. So I thought there was a piano in here. I do see that there's that low end piano. If I go to Albion Legacy, we have piano legacy, but it's only showing me shorts, short mutes, short ring, and then effects. So not exactly piano, or at least let's go to individual patches. The piano short. Not a regular piano, which is weird that they would have those. So I'll go back to percussion ensemble. Darwin percussion ensemble. I don't need the quick load. Figure out what I'm gonna play here. All right, let's go to. We'll probably bring. This will be percussion. And percussion in this case, yellow. Really loud also. So I'm just gonna have that play, and I only need to record it once. So we're gonna work smarter and not harder. So I'm gonna bring this in every few bars, maybe 4 bars. Even this intro part, there is a patch that's just called low strings. I don't know if it's the same samples that's in the long strings pause. So I'm gonna look for the low strings patch and see if that sounds better for this intro. So we're gonna go to Albion 1 Orchestra. We'll go to the XL patches, and I'm looking for strings low XL. And we're looking for you have short and long pause. So I'm gonna go for strings XL low and see how that sounds. I'm just going to duplicate this solo and see how this sounds. So when you hear the difference, this the long actually sounds like it's more of a wider signal. So how do we do that? Maybe we'll have the top part for the beginning. So I'm going to mute this. And then maybe the low strings come in the second time around. So this is what we got so far. So what I don't want, it's getting real muddy with the low strings. So I'm going to open up the MIDI here. And if I do this shortcut, shift up arrow, it's going to select all the top notes. So if I'm using let me make sure I'm on the right channel. What I want to do here with the low strings is I want to delete all the top notes. I only want the low notes. So if I do shift up arrow and I just go through and select, that's all low. And I think all that stuff I can get rid of. Oops, missed one. I want to keep all the low stuff. So anything down here I want to keep. And there's other ways to do it. So now I can just delete that. So I'm looking for any doubles. I don't think there's anything down there actually. So I can move that up and up. Move that up. So just making sure, I have a meeting in 15 minutes, so I got to figure this out. Making sure, I think we'll leave that as is for now, that there's not too much happening on the low end. And then for this one, I'm just going to delete other than the beginning. So what I'm going to do is, the beginning I want to keep, but I'm going to go over here, split this, open up the MIDI for this, do shift down arrow, and I'm going to delete all the low notes because that's being taken care of from this low patch. So here we go. And then I want to get to our percussion over here. Again, I don't have the icon set up, and because I'm in a rush, I probably won't be setting that up, but figure out a percussion thing we want to play. I think I like something like that, just something to give it some motion. All right, here we go. So I had the mic muted. Sorry about that, and I need to turn my mic down. But I've added some of this mid layer here, and now I want to add some higher layers. Maybe the I like that stuff. But I'm gonna have to turn the volume up. All right, here we go. So that is some percussion. Again, I'm not quantizing anything. Maybe I'll do that in the mixing. Because technically everything is sort of, if we do 16th notes, and what we can do is we can adjust the strength of it so that everything's not exactly maybe 70-ish, 80-ish, 84-ish. Let's see how that sounds. So the quantizer was actually making it feel like off tempo, and I could go in, and I probably should go in and clean it up a little bit, but such is life. So I turned the quantizer off. I'm debating whether I want to add the metal stuff. Might be too like industrial. It's better to have it and not need it than not have it and need it. Let's see. Do I want to quantize this stuff? So quantizing, like cleaning things up, and this is like switching the brain from creative to mixing. I'm looking for notes that are off like this, starting from here. Looks like some of the notes are getting off there, like off the grid, and then over here, they're getting off. So I'm gonna bring them back to that line. So I'm just looking at the MIDI, really just doing like a high level, when do they start getting off? These are getting off, whoa, kind of far back. Looks like right about there. So just trying to figure out like where do the notes not line up correctly on the grid, and then trying to clean it up. So that actually doesn't look bad. And then you go track by track and you do that. It's not the most glamorous of things to do, but if you want things to sort of be lined up and to sound great and tight, pause. So this should be, looks like 16ths or maybe eighths notes. I think these are good. There's a mistake there. So knowing how to look at your MIDI and see like, if I see doubles that shouldn't be there, cleaning those up. It does take a little bit of practice to get your eye sort of attuned to those sorts of things. This looks good. I don't think I'm doing anything too crazy here on the brass. I think these should be eighth notes. I think the percussion is where things get kind of weird, so let's do. Let's see. Again, not the most glamorous editing, but you got to do what you got to do. I think this is this one. And you sort of hear it when it gets off time. And you can also see it. The shortcut, if I select the note and hit Shift F, it'll select every note after that, and that's how I'm adjusting these. Like this is too soon. And then it starts to sound more cohesive in the end. We'll do this one. I think that's pretty clean, and then we have 2 more to go. Again, very tedious work, especially when you're talking about doing scores where you have hours and hours of this stuff and you want things to sort of be a little bit tight. And pause. Let's see. Actually, I need to go to see what this looks like. Let's see, something is off there. And there's a lot of mud in there. I'll do some EQing and mixing later, but I have 3 minutes. I have to get to a meeting. Let's see what the metal sounds like. It actually starts off on the wrong beat, so we're going to move all that there, and I think we're good there. All right, so what we're going to do, I have 3 minutes. I'm going to see if I can add one. Yo, what up, Luke? I'm going to add one thing, which is not in Albion 1. So everything so far has been Albion 1. There is a piano in Albion 1, but it's not a piano. It's not a full piano sound. So maybe we'll just go, since I have limited time. I could go to another Spitfire audio. Since we're featuring Spitfire audio, I need to come up with the piano really fast. Let's go to Media Toolkit, because I never use that. Which is not loading up. This might be the problem. This is a problem, a love-hate relationship I have with Spitfire audio plugins. Yeah, that's a whole nother issue that we'll talk about. So if that doesn't work, I don't know if I have a piano that's in a non... there's Labs, which also shouldn't load up if that one didn't load up. But let's see, maybe Labs will load up, and I can load up a piano in there, and we'll lay a piano part down, and then if not, we'll just go Logic stock. And that's taking a while to open up. I'll give it a few seconds. The track itself is 2.5 minutes. So please log in. That took forever. I only have free instruments here. I haven't done any of the paid stuff, and I'm looking for free. Should let me narrow it down to free piano and keys. There's Whirly, there's Vintage Keys, there's Autograph Piano, there's Glass Piano. I might go with Glass Piano. What else do we got? OPM Modulator. I'll go with Glass Piano. Glass Grand. Load. Not the most inspiring piano sound, but it's free. And I gotta remember what I played. You know what? We'll jump a little bit further and I'll maybe add it around here. I want to, there we go. For some reason my sustain wasn't working. That's the gist of it. I'll probably add some more effects later, but I have to run to a meeting. Luke says, what about Heavy Foundations? Yes, Heavy Foundations is a great piano. I typically would go to either Alicia's Keys, Native Instruments, or any of the really Native Instruments pianos, the Gentleman, the Maverick, Noir, Piano Colors. I also have the IK Multimedia Pianoverse. I probably have more pianos than any other instrument. As far as VST, I have hundreds of pianos, but those are my default and go-to. In this case, I was trying to stick with Albion 1, but the piano in Albion 1 is very limiting. It's more of effect piano and not really a piano sound, so I just went to Labs, trying to think of another Spitfire Audio one to keep it all Spitfire Audio. But yeah, this is created using only Albion 1 with the exception of the piano. Like I said, I'll probably bring some more effects, more of the trailer, like risers and maybe some hits towards the end to bring some of that, not levity, some of that epic cinematic vibe to it. But that's the gist of how I create. And typically, you know, if I want to use just one plugin, it's really a great way to learn a plugin. So in this case, Spitfire Audio just released these XL patches as an update to their Albion 1 library, which is over a decade old, but I still use it in a lot of my productions. So shout out to Spitfire Audio and shout out to Albion 1. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check the description, check out my Facebook group, check out the ASTS group. They have just released a new plugin also called Galvanizer. They sponsor this podcast. And then check out this podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. All right, I gotta get to my meeting. All right, peace.